Hey, what's going on? So this is going to be a full tutorial on how to install a Metapixel with Conversions API. So I'm going to go through some of the theory, give you a basic understanding because I know Metapixels can be so confusing to some people. So if you're watching this video, you probably don't know too much about pixels. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you it is an absolute lifeline. It's not something you should think about doing. It's an absolute necessity. And it doesn't really matter what you're selling either, whether it's a service-based offer or it's a product itself. A pixel is absolutely essential to help Meta get proper data to understand how to optimize. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck just wasting money. So this video is really just to give you guys a general understanding of how to do pixels, and then I'm going to go through some application of how to link it with GoHighLevel so that we can get proper conversions tracking to overall optimize your ad campaign towards whatever the objective is. In this video, we're going to show how to optimize for call bookings to make sure that, the money that we're putting up is actually going to good use and you're not just wasting it, throwing it into a void because your pixel isn't doing exactly what you need it to do. Okay, so getting into this diagram, so this is a basic Metapixel without Conversions API. So basically, this is how Metapixel has typically worked in the past. However, in recent years, data privacy has become a big issue. So it's become a lot harder for us to properly track users that go through our landing pages because iPhone specifically has released a bunch of iOS updates that prevent data tracking across websites unless the user specifically consents. So if a user doesn't allow cookies or doesn't allow web tracking, then this pixel essentially becomes useless. And if you think about it, a lot of people really care about their privacy these days, so we end up getting just a small percentage of people that are actually going to consent for us to track their data, and overall it just becomes a very inefficient and expensive way to do meta tracking if you are not using Conversions API. So if you can imagine, let's say you're running an ad campaign and you set up a pixel on it, and the pixel is set up to your landing page, your opt-in page. So what that's going to do when the user clicks over, it's going to trigger the pixel and then it's going to send it to Meta servers, and this is going to be a data cookie dependent browser way of doing things, meaning Meta has to be able to track it through the browser and through acceptance of the cookies in order to get that data. And then once that pixel data is sent over to Meta servers, then we can actually get into the conversions, the retargeting, lookalike audience, see if they abandoned cart, the whole 9 yards. Now, assuming a user has consented to cookies, this method of doing things is fine. But as I just discussed, a lot of users these days are not consenting to data. So as you can imagine, solely relying on just a single pixel onto Meta servers is no longer the most effective way of doing things. So what I'm going to show you guys now. So this is a Metapixel with Conversions API tracking. Now I'm specifically going to show you guys how to link this through GoHighLevel as far as the landing page setup goes. So in this example, we got a 3-step funnel, and the benefit of this is that we can track leads that come through the entire funnel. So from an opt-in page, then over to a booking page, then a thank you page, we're going to be able to track them the whole way. Now, traditionally, how you will set up a pixel like this off that opt-in page, you're going to set up a page view pixel. On the booking page, you're going to set up a lead pixel because they haven't booked in yet, but they're a lead because they made it this far. And then anyone that actually got to the thank you page is going to be hit with the schedule pixel because they've confirmed their booking. We want to optimize for people that actually went through and scheduled. That means they went through the entire funnel and they actually scheduled. We want to optimize for this specific group of people because this is the moneymaker, of course. So the benefit of Conversions API is that we're no longer dependent on the user consenting and giving their cookies in order for us to understand how they're maneuvering through the page. And what I mean by that is that we're not only using Meta servers now, we're also going to be leveraging GoHighLevel servers, meaning when a lead submits the opt-in form and pushes over to the booking page, our GoHighLevel server will pick up on that. Or if a lead schedules and then they get it booked into the calendar, our GoHighLevel servers will pick up on that, and then we're going to tell our GoHighLevel servers to go back and tell Meta servers what just happened. So essentially what we're doing is anytime Meta servers isn't picking up on anything, we are going to have our GoHighLevel servers do the actual tracking for us and then send that over to GoHighLevel, so it'll all be organized. And then also, in case you're curious, if there's a case where they did consent to data and then GoHighLevel is also picking up on it, it'll essentially just mash the two and it'll still end up coming out with the same effect. But now the benefit of doing this is that we have like a 90+% track through rate of leads that are coming through now. And so our conversions, our retargeting, our lookalikes are going to be a lot more optimized, get a cheaper result for our pre-existing ad campaign as it continues to spend. And then of course, if we do a different ad campaign, like a retargeting campaign at a lower budget, we have a ton of data to work with now to target those new leads. Okay, so that's all the theory. So now we're going to get into the actual application. I'm going to show you guys an example of a 3-step funnel and show you guys how to link the pixel and the Conversions API so everything is set up properly. Okay, so we're in GoHighLevel now. This is just a randomly generated funnel that I built out just to show you guys a quick example. It's a 3-step funnel. So to start out, we have an opt-in page. Now, assuming you're doing an ad campaign, doing opt-in page to do data collection off the bat is going to be essential because, of course, a lot of people aren't going to want to immediately book in or purchase whatever you're selling. So it's going to be great to get their information so you can at least do some email or SMS marketing to try to book them in. And then after that, of course, we have our booking page to actually schedule our call, and then the thank you page that takes place after this. Now, a lot of people will fade a thank you page, think they don't need it, but really the benefit of it isn't even the fact that, a user is now getting to read, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But, you can put things like, oh, confirm your booking with the email right now, confirm this, confirm that, or maybe if you have a pre-call video you need leads to watch that are a little more warm, they already booked in, you can put it here as well. But honestly, the most important factor of having a thank you page is just the fact that we're able to set up that conversions API on it. So we're able to tell Meta, hey, this person booked in. That is going to be an absolute game changer for us. And just to give you a visual, here's the opt in page. So the user will put their information in, and then they'll be prompted over to this book a call page. And then after that, they'll be given a thank you page, right? Pretty simple, straightforward. Okay, so now we're going to move over to Ads Manager. All right, so within Ads Manager, you're going to click over to the side dashboard and you're going to click Business Settings. All right, now once you're in Business Settings, you're going to go to Data Sources and then you're going to click on Data Sets. So it's weird now because they have pixels and data sets, and honestly, they're synonymous as far as the functionality of what they're going to do. Data sets does have conversions API within it, so we are going to be going with that today. So once you're in data sets, all you have to do is click add. I'm going to show you guys how to create a brand new data set. So just type in whatever. We don't need this, uncheck that, and then just click create. Okay, so first things first, a lot of people already missed this step, but what you want to do is go over to connect assets. You actually have to connect it over to your ad account. So do that, click add. Cool. And now we need to assign it to ourselves because it's not assigned to anyone. So just assign it to yourself. Full control, of course. Assign. All right, now everything's initialized for you to actually get going. So you're going to click these three dots, and then we're going to click Open Events Manager. All right, now within Events Manager, first thing we're going to do is click Setup Metapixel, and we're going to do Install Code Manually. So what we're going to do here is click Copy Code, and then we're going to go back over to GoHighLevel. And so this is our funnel. So you're going to click on settings within the funnel. And then over where it says head tracking code, just paste that code in there. Scroll down and then click save. Okay, cool. So now that we got the base code set up within settings, we're actually going to go into the booking page and the thank you page and set up some custom code in order to tell Meta, like I was explaining earlier, sending over the information as leads come through. So we're going to tell Meta, hey, from the booking page, this is a lead. Hey, from the thank you page, this is a schedule. So this is how we do it on our side of the server. And then this code that's associated with the base code we put in settings will then send that information back over to Meta, assuming that a lead comes through. Okay, so on your booking page, click edit, and then up top here where it says tracking code, click on that. Okay, so I'm going to write it out with you guys just so there's no confusion. And then you want to make sure that this part is green. Sometimes it doesn't show up as green, and if it doesn't, just make sure to rewrite it. Do it exactly as I'm doing here. Make sure this is uppercase. Make sure that everything's the same. All right, then slash script. Boom. What we're going to do now is actually copy it just for efficiency and then click save and then make sure to save it. This is not a real domain, but of course you're going to publish it, assuming that it is a real website. Now, going over to your thank you page, we're going to do that same thing, except we're going to tweak something. Within the thank you page, track code again, paste the code we just did, and we're going to edit lead, and we're going to change it to schedule. So what this is telling Meta now is that that booking page, that's a lead, and then anyone that came over to thank you page, they fully scheduled. And we're going to optimize for schedules. Click save once again, then save and publish. Okay, so now we have all our code set up. So we're going to move back over to Events Manager now and finish up. All right, so back on Events Manager, we can click continue now. We're going to turn on automatic advanced matching, then click continue. We're going to click go to pixel overview. So that's all we need to do for the event setup for the MetaPixel. So now we're going to set up our conversions API, also called CAPI. All right, so we're going to click setup conversions API, then click setup manually, keep that first one recommended, and then click start CAPI. All right, once the start CAPI, it's weird, it doesn't close the box, so just X out, but as you can see, CAPI is now opened up, so we're going to click continue. And now, assuming you're a service-based business, we are going to click it over to other business category, and then we're going to pull out all the things, all the significant tasks that we need. So contact, this is for the contacts form submission, assuming you have a Facebook lead form, or if you're doing a lead form within GoHighLevel, our opt-in form, like we were discussing, that's that. And then our lead, if you remember the code on the booking page, that's what this is. That's what this lead here is. And then the thank you page schedule, that's what this will be denoted as. So now that we got those three, just click continue. And then for each one of these now, we are literally going to check everything. And that's because we need to make sure that we're getting as much data as possible to give back to Meta, because this is just going to help the machine learning to fully optimize and understand what we're going for. So starting off with contact, click event ID, and then I want you to literally go through and check all of these. All right, so we got all those checked. So now go over to lead. Click event ID once more and check all of these once again. All right, we got that done. So now one last time, schedule, and then click all of them again. Great. Now that we got all of those events set up, just click continue. And there's nothing else to do on this review setup page. Just click continue and then click continue once more. So on this page, what you're going to do is scroll down to where it says generate access token. Click it, then you'll actually get an access token to generate, in which we're going to go back over to GoHighLevel and set up a quick automation to make sure that the whole communication system is finally tied together perfectly. All right, so I got that access token. Just click on it to actually copy it. Now moving back over to GoHighLevel, go into automation, and we're literally going to just create a new one from scratch. And what this is going to act to do is track our conversions API so we can send it back to Meta so that everything is aligned, as I just said. So this one will specifically be for the form submission for the opt-in page. And if you're not too familiar with GoHighLevel, you can just follow along with me. We're going to do form submitted here. We're going to click form is and then choose the form. I'm just going to do a random one for the sake of this because this is just an example. And then we're going to do Facebook conversions API. Now, with that token we just generated, we're going to put it under access token and then just paste it in there. And we're going to keep this as funnel event because we did set up a 3-step funnel. And then event is already denoted as lead, which is great. And then here for pixel ID, so we're going to get that by going back over to events manager. So we got our access token, so we're good here. Scroll to the very bottom and click finish. Okay, so now we're back on our pixel we just set up. So click over to settings, may take a second to load. And then we got our dataset ID. This is the same thing as that pixel ID, so copy that. And then you're going to drop that over here and GoHighLevel. And then it already automatically denotes this as a lead, and that's perfect because if you remember, we want our booking page to be denoted as a lead. So when they specifically submit the opt-in form and they get pushed over to our booking page, this is the tripwire that triggers our denotion of a lead. All right, that's that. So just save it. And then, of course, if this is a live one, then you're going to publish it too. All right, so now we're going to make an additional workflow, and this one will be for the scheduled. So here the trigger is going to be a calendar booking. So customer booked appointment in calendar, and then choose your calendar. And then we're going to do our conversions API, CAPI once again, funnel event. And under access token and pixel ID, we're able to recycle the same ones we just put into that other workflow. So just grab those and throw them in here. All right, now that we got that info in there, we're going to switch the Facebook event name to schedule. And then click save, of course, publish it, and then save. And now we have fully linked the conversions API on GoHighLevel server to properly communicate over to our Pixel on Meta server so that everything is now connected. Anytime a lead books in, we have this sending over to Meta, and anytime a lead puts in the opt-in form, clicks over to the booking page, we'll send that over to Meta as well. Okay, so if you made it this far in the video, then lucky you, because I'm also going to show real quick how to actually set up a campaign to specifically optimize for conversions on schedules. And honestly, this is some secret sauce that a lot of these gurus are using right now to get these booked appointments. You know, when I found this out and actually started applying it to my campaigns, my clients' campaigns, we saw an insane return on ad spend. And Meta has just been doing a great job utilizing these pixels to actually convert. Okay, this could be a really quick run through. So you're going to click leads, continue. You're going to do manual, continue. Now, nothing over here. So within ad set level, you're going to click over to website. And now maximize conversions data set. We are going to set up with our new data set that we just created. Example. And now conversions event. So we had just set up lead and schedule. We want it to optimize for the schedule we just set up. And so now anytime a lead gets through your funnel and goes over to that thank you page, it'll get triggered as a schedule over on Meta's end, and it'll now be optimizing for this. So in the result tab, it'll say website schedules. Now, of course, you got to put in your targeting and add creative. I will say though, unless you're running for a specific age demographic or very specific target audience, I recommend leaving this broad, especially if you're a rookie in ads, because Meta's going to know better than you if you don't really know too much about what you're doing here. And then just to give you an example, I actually launched a campaign just yesterday using this method. And as you can see here, I already got one website schedule. I only spent $40, so this is a very new campaign. But this is the idea behind it. It'll now be optimizing for website schedules and ultimately gets more booked calls onto my calendar as efficient as possible. But yeah, guys, I really hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'll leave my link down below. I know this can be confusing. If you do even one part wrong, it could fuck up your entire metapixel you got going. So please reach out if you have any questions. I'll be happy to clarify. And if you're not subscribed by now, then go ahead and drop a sub. I will be dropping 2 videos a week from now on, going over basic practices like this, as far as meta ads, and also Go High Level automations, showing how to optimize your system so you actually have a full functioning system in order to get leads to the door, and you're not just throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks, and wondering why you're not getting conversions to the door. Again, if you are trying to run a business, a lot of people that are watching this right now are probably aspiring entrepreneurs or people really just trying to learn the ropes to get things started. You have to systemize things. If you don't do specific things like set up a pixel properly, or you don't have proper Go High Level automation set up, it's going to be impossible to scale effectively, especially because you're going to be wasting so much money on ads. And I'm not just talking out of my ass on that. I've wasted so much money on Meta when I was first learning years ago, and it's been a huge journey. So my goal here is really just to teach you guys everything that I know and make sure that you guys don't make those same mistakes that I made when I was learning. And on that note, I'll see you next time.